This is agility, as the CEO calls it. It's actually shares that have now turned red, which is interesting. We're trying to delve into is the reasoning why, because they booked record orders, 13.2 billion euros worth. In fact, they're trying to point us to the fact that orders aren't the big tell anymore and don't always look at our backlog. But more broadly, this is a company that has lit a fire underneath European peers today. SMI is up an awful lot. Semiconductor is up a lot. You've seen Lam Research here in the United States, Applied Materials, because this is the chip equipment maker to the world, in particular to China. In fact, most of its sales still go to China, even though I will tell you they sell their 8th generation lithography. They're not even allowed to ship lithography, but their chip equipment is so old, but still China needs that deprecated chip equipment manufacturing ability because they want to make their own domestic chips. Now we're also seeing the fact that they're good in Taiwan. They're seeing strength in the United States as we build out domestic chip manufacturing here as well. And that's why Intel has been so much higher to Dell as well, because it really is just a tell, like TSMC was, that this is an AI bubble. This is real orders for real chip manufacturing. And the CEO had said, look, we got a lot of clarity in the last 3 months. So much clarity, in fact, that they are making those 1,700 job cuts where they're trying to be more agile with their innovation, and they're cutting out from the IT and the tech part of the business.
Okay. Well, speaking of job cuts, another big name announcing job cuts is Amazon. 16,000 corporate jobs.
And that's 30,000 in the last 3 months that they've announced. So this is a company that signaled this. Look, Andy Jassy, in his letter to his shareholders, had said, I am going to make AI work for me. But what does that mean? I'm going to have a smaller employee base. He's trying to strip out that layer of management and bureaucracy that built up during COVID, where many would say big companies overhired in that period. And therefore, we're starting to still see the areas of being fixated on where they will rehire is areas of AI, of areas of AGI and areas of LLM and all the areas of growth for the business. So they are going to try over the 90 days find new homes for some of these laid off employees. But 14,000 of them, they're not going to find homes for all of those. But this is, again, about efficiency for the company.
Yep, absolutely. SoftBank in talks to invest $30 billion more into OpenAI. The numbers are just monstrous, but the valuation, about $750 billion. I mean, SoftBank's all in on this AI thing.
Yeah, and Massa is really committing to OpenAI. In particular, look, the number one holding for SoftBank thus far has been ARM. And that is all about chip design and the future of artificial intelligence in that direction. But this would actually probably bring their number one exposure, their number one stake to being OpenAI if they put this $30 billion to work. And this is why Massa has been selling down his NVIDIA stake, has been trying to free up capital to get in on the generative AI move that in many ways people would say SoftBank kind of missed from its own business model perspective, but he's really tried to lay claim to betting on some of the biggest makers. Remember, they just bought Ampere as well, which is another chip manufacturing company, which was backed by Oracle previously. But Massa, all in, he's a guy who makes big bets. Sometimes they work really well, like Alibaba. Sometimes they work less well, like WeWork. But more broadly, he's a man with commitment.